Hey, welcome back. My name is Adrian and this is my YouTube channel, and today I'm hoping to help some of you fitness people, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, advanced, pro, a runner, swimmer, pro athlete, what other people do? You know, people that like lifting weights, powerlifters, whatever you're into. I'm hoping to answer a very difficult question, and that would be picking a foam roller that is just right for you. And let's go. So, problem you may come across when trying to find a foam roller is that you'll be typing along in your computer or your smartphone, and most likely you probably go on Amazon or eBay, whatever, and you type in foam roller and you press search, and then you end up with like hundreds and thousands of results, and you're scrolling through and they all pretty much look the same, and you're probably wondering, are they all the same, and is there one that I need at my level? Or if you're a beginner or advanced level, whatever, is there a foam roller just right for me? So I'm going to go through a few foam rollers with yourself just to explain the differences between all the different ones that there are on the market. Alright, so to start off, I'll say this is more like a beginner's range of foam rollers. So for anyone looking to start off with just trying to get comfortable with using a foam roller, I'd suggest looking for something like this, just so you're used to and comfortable with using a foam roller, and understand how to sort of roll around on the specifically targeted muscle groups. Or the other option, if you don't want to spend money looking for buying one and the other and another, then just look online. Well, when you search foam rollers online, you probably see quite a few that are called the 2-in-1, so you can actually get like the beginner's one and an intermediate one sort of packaged together. So I'd tend to recommend looking for a 2-in-1 pack if you're just looking to get started, or maybe in the intermediate level. So the reason why I'd say this one is more on the intermediate level is because, one, it's a bit firmer than your beginner's one, which I'll put down, and two, you have a very spiky area, which is quite good for getting deep into the muscle tissue which you're trying to target, and then there's a bit that's not as spiky and a little bit more comfortable compared to the spiky bit. So if you don't want to roll on a section or roll on the muscle as deep as the spiky bit, then you can specifically use this area to roll on the targeted area. Cool. Next one. Alright, so we have this next one, which I'd say is targeted more for advanced users. As you can see, this one all around is super spiky, and it's gonna be targeting your muscles really deep, and I'd say it's definitely for the advanced users, and I wouldn't jump straight into this one if you're only just getting into foam rolling, because I'm not gonna lie, this one's gonna get you quite close to tears if you've not used a foam roller before. Alright, cool. So next one. So last but not least, I have this. It may look like the intermediate one, spiky side, not so spiky side, but this one's a little bit more special. It is by a company called Jaxjox. It has some fancy buttons on one side and an LCD screen, and it also has a charging port. What it does is that it syncs with your either iOS device or Android device, and you can download an app, and in that app you can select what muscles you're planning to roll on. You can choose the intensity level on how intense this foam roller vibrates. So which is quite beneficial, because if you've got like quite tight calves, your lower back's a bit tight, then that vibrating movement would help loosen up those muscle groups. So it's pretty cool, but for the price, which is I think it's about £100 in the UK, I would rather spend my money on a massage percussion gun, because like I mentioned already, with calves, then a massage percussion gun I find a lot more beneficial than a vibrating foam roller, to be honest. And I'll have a lot more uses of the massage percussion gun, whether it's along my back, shoulders, biceps, triceps, thighs. So for this sort of intermediate advanced kind of foam roller, I honestly wouldn't recommend getting one of these. I'll just either stick with the advanced one once you get up to that sort of level, and maybe redirect your funds on a massage percussion gun. Cool. But just to let you all know, I am not a qualified personal trainer or physio. This is just stuff I recommended from my own personal experience. I have been quite into my fitness for quite some time and use various kinds of rollers, balls and bands or whatnot to implement into my daily routine. So coming up, oops, I pressed the button. Coming up, I've got some footage of sort of like what I tend to do during my daily foam rolling routine after my exercise anyways. But in terms of foam rolling, you can really just do a bit before let's say you're going to the gym, you're planning to work on your legs or maybe back, then I would tend to with the foam roller roll along my lower back, loosen up my legs with the foam roller, especially like if you feel like your quads are a bit tight. Sometimes if you're rolling along, because your quads being tight could just be that your calves are tight, so sometimes rolling along your calves can really help loosen up your quads to help you with your squats as well. So it's quite nice to have a foam roller. You don't want to jump into exercises without your muscles being ready, and then also just the use of it after you've finished your exercises. It's just to help your muscles loosen up, help the blood flow. Really beneficial for when you're recovering as well. Cool. So yeah, coming up, I've got some footage of what I tend to do with my rolling after my exercises. Cool. Check it out. So to start off with, I'm gonna roll against the wall for my back. Instead of just jumping straight in onto a mat and putting all my body weight onto a very hard object, I like to ease myself into it by just rolling against the wall first. And because our back is quite long in length, I like to break up into 3 separate sections, starting with my lower, mid and upper. You may find if you're a bit taller, then you might want to break up into like a few more parts. Whatever works best for you, really. So once I reach like the upper section, sometimes if I find like if my traps are a bit tight on either side, then I would sort of lean towards that particular side a little bit more, so just shifting my body weight to that side and continue rolling, I find that helps with like putting a bit more pressure, so the roller gets a bit more deep into the tight muscle group around the traps. So next, I like to start off with my calves, also breaking them up into sections as well, starting with the lower section and then the upper section. And instead of just like rolling up and down, I also like to give it a twist left and right as well, just so I'm not missing any parts of my calves as well. So when you're rolling, just really get a good feel of the motion, breathing in and out whilst you're moving along with the roller, and just really get a good feel of how the roller is going through your muscle tissue as well. Just make it a enjoyable experience as opposed to more like a chore and you're just rushing through it. You really see the benefits of it when you're really like getting a good feel of the motion on your muscles. So once I've finished rolling on my calves, the next thing I do is go back onto my back. And the same as what we did before, it's breaking up my back into various sections and starting with the lower, mid and upper. So one thing I've started to implement over the last 3 months is starting to roll along my triceps and lats, and I do find it quite beneficial because I have been training a lot more harder to build my upper body. So giving my lats a good roll as well as my triceps has been quite beneficial and relieving quite tight muscles around my back. So last but not least, I tend to finish up my rolling with the inside of my leg, and then as well as the outside as well. What you may tend to find, like with people that go to the gym and squat or deadlift or whatever, you may get to a point where you find that maybe your knees are quite tight, or your quads, even like you got some discomfort around your lower back, and sometimes you may find it's because your inside leg or the outside is quite tight, and that's either pulling against your knee and just restricting the movement, or even your lower back. So sometimes rolling around areas that you may find quite tight does sort of like relieve the tension in other areas that you're having concerns about. Hey, so we come to the end. I really hope you enjoyed this week's video. Hope you found the content useful, helpful. I look forward to hearing from some of you if you've already implemented some of the techniques I've gone through. Hope it really helps you out with your daily fitness routine as well. And if you've liked today's video, please make sure you press the like button, subscribe if you've not subscribed already, and also hit that notification button, please. Thank you very much for your time, and I will see you next week. Alright, bye bye.